So, I was thinking about something earlier this week. I talked a little bit about it on Twitter, but I didn't really go into it in like full detail. I thought I'd share a little bit of it. Um, I was just thinking, everyone knows the story of the ugly duckling. The ugly duckling just didn't fit in, wasn't no one liked, and they eventually grew up and became a swan and like outdid all the ugly ducklings, all the other ducklings, the regular ducklings, I guess. But anyway, I came to the realization that the problem with being the ugly duckling, whereas you do become the swan and that's all lovely and great, is no one ever actually tells you that you've become a swan. There's no specific day where it's like you're a swan. Did you know that? No one really does that. So a lot of times swans walk around with ugly duckling mentality. They walk around still thinking and behaving like an ugly duckling because they that's all they know. And I can even attest to that myself. Growing up, I am a nerd. Let's just keep it real. I am a nerd. But when growing up, I looked like a nerd. I was called Stephen Urkel. It was not fun. I was short, just eh. But life has a funny way of working that out. Where once the growth spurt starts, everything kind of falls into place, and nerdiness became artsiness, and now I'm not bad. I'm not like I'm the finest thing on the planet, but I turn heads every now and again. And I like that. But it took a long time for me to realize, okay, you're not ugly at all. And it was weird because even a friend of mine had said to me, okay, you're getting checked out all the time. And I'm like, no, I'm not. You've lost your mind. And it wasn't until later that I said, okay, maybe that is what's happening. But in my mind, I'm like, well, why would anyone be doing that? Because that still wasn't how I perceived myself. And it wasn't probably until like the last year and a half, that it clicked like, oh, okay, I might be all right. And people actually might be looking at me and liking what they see. Who knew? You know? But it's weird because you don't think like that because you're so used to not being perceived that way. So it's like when people start, it's like, are you sure? Is that really what you want to do? And I guess the thing to liken it to is being in a prison cell with an open door. It's like you're so used to being locked in it, you don't know that you can walk out at any given time. Another, I guess, parallel or analogy, metaphor, whatever you want to call it, is something I read one time about how they domesticated elephants in India. Like they take them as babies and chain them up to like a stake, so they couldn't go anywhere. And they'd grow up and actually be strong enough to break that chain and leave at any given point, but they had been not able to do it for so long that in their mind they still weren't strong enough to break that chain. So if you've been that ugly duckling, maybe, just maybe, it's time to try to break a chain or two. You may be stronger than you think you are. I think I've said everything I want to say. Talk to you soon.